Okay. So, yeah. First, thanks. You very much do get out what you put in, and we can only take you as far as you're willing to go. So, Team North, it's all about development. I'm sure you guys know. We want to get you in the GB for the guys who aren't already there. We want to get you playing abroad, and we want to play and get you playing in the US if possible. This down here is a picture of Aka, one of your receiver coaches. It's him playing in GFL. Like, there's a lot of opportunities in this sport. Just making sure you guys all can see the slides, right? Someone give me a yes or something.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. All right. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a little recap. We're gonna go over coverages a little bit, then a little quiz. We're not judging here. Obviously, we have some time before the game. This really isn't one of those things where it's like homework and I'm trying to tell you off. It's not like that. We're on the same page here. I want you guys to be better. I want you guys to have the playbook down because that's gonna help me play you all the reps you deserve on Saturday. We'll get everyone on the field. That's the aim of Team North. But ultimately, we can only give you so many reps if you only know Z from deuce or Z from spread and trips. If that's all you know, there's only so much we can do with that. So we just want to prepare you guys the best we can. Okay, so this is the outline for today. A little recap, coverages, a little quiz, and then a little bit on Team Scotland. Don't worry about the task at the end. I've made it a little bit easier for you guys. I've cut it out. Okay, so alignments, you guys should all know this by now. 7 yards from the sideline for spread, splitting the difference. You guys know this. And what I want you to remember when you get on the field, I want you to remember three things, okay? First is the play call. Get a look for the play call, make sure you know. Because if you don't see the play call, then you're in a bad position. But ultimately, if you don't know, ask always. Don't just run there without a plan. Ask. Get an idea of what's going on. So one is looking for the play call. You should know all the hand signals by now, but any questions, feel free to ask. All right, second, line checks. Yeah, you all know it. I think I'll put it in here. Yeah. Line checks. Two fingers down if you're on the line. Look to the line judge. Make sure you actually get confirmation. Another thing that some of you are struggling with a little bit is getting set. Don't bounce on the line. I know it's a very minor thing, but you might get called for it, and we just can't take that chance. We don't want to leave anything up to the ref's judgment. So two fingers down if you're on the line, two back if you're off the line, and wait for some kind of recognition from the line judge. If he doesn't see you, just point over to him like you see at the bottom here, and do it again. We just need to make sure we're getting those line checks in every play when we're on game day. You guys have been doing a good job so far. In terms of pre-snap read, this is the third one. I'd say the most important. So I've tried to make it a clear way for you guys to think about your pre-snap read. So let's say you've got a run block. You got to think about your assignment and your leverage. Uh, who can tell me what assignment means in this scenario? Anyone?
Crackle stalk.
No. Okay. So that's more leverage based. When I say assignment here, I mean the man. So it's yeah, it's a bit vague to be fair. But assignment is the guy you're looking for, and then leverage is how you're going to play him. So those are the two things you need to consider for run block. Thanks for the participation, though, George. Appreciate that. And then if it's pass/screen, you just got to plan your route. So that's the third thing you're doing when you get out on the field. Run block. For assignment, is it stalk or is it push crack? So stalk is the fingers walking across. Push crack is the word egg crack. You should be familiar with that by now. In terms of finding your assignment, for stalk, you're counting from the outside. So let's say you're the second man from the outside. Let's say you got a wide out here and you're the slot. Then you're just counting from the outside. There's a corner there. That's the one. If there's a man here, a safety who's down and in a dangerous position, that's the 2. That's your man. So stalk, we're always counting from the outside. Push crack, it's the other one that we've been used to. So it's going from the inside. You're always leaving the corners and you'll double team the outside linebacker. And in trips, you'd even go towards the mic. You're always going inside on the push crack, outside on the stalk. Any questions? Fire away.
I got a question.
Yep.
So, when we call plays like golf, when we're blocking in the play,
Yeah.
uh, I don't, do they also call like the block, whether it's stalk or push crack? Because I don't remember. I thought they just called like golf.
No, so for that, it's a very specific block, right? So you should learn that as a set golf block. That's different.
Oh, okay.
So that's just
So is that going to be in the playbook? Is it going to tell us?
yeah.
Does that say like, all right, okay.
Yeah, do you not have do you have access to that?
Yeah, I've got access to the playbook. I'll check after.
Yeah. So that's one of those where you're just kind of driving out the man that it shows on the playbook. But if you have any questions regarding like the speed you want to do that at, let us know. Yeah. But in terms of let's say on the golf, so that's got the screen, the running back screen. You want to stalk block that. You want to come out slow and get around it. Yeah. But good question though. So here's an example of a stalk block, and this is what you want to do on a golf. For anyone unclear, so it's just approaching, getting set, and making the block. Patience, controlled aggression. That's what it's all about. And then the opposite is the push crack, where you're just kind of going out, getting contact, driving them back. Less about controlled aggression, more about moving a man. Does anyone have any issues with these different blocks and the differences between them at all? Okay. Yeah. So then in terms of let's have a little quiz for you. So um here we've got trips right and we've got a run to the left, okay? So what would you say this is? What does this look like? If you look at how the corner's being left, does this look like stalk or does this look like push crack? I'm gonna ask Louis.
Push crack.
Yeah, that's right. Why is that?
Because you're not counting from the outside, you're double teaming the offensive lineman or linebacker or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so then in terms of leverage, which is the second part you need to consider, we've added that direction call in. I'm hoping you all are familiar with it. Yeah, let's see. Do any of you guys remember the direction call? Let me
I've just
see.
got a question about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, when you call the direction, is it the direction which we should block, or is it the direction which the player is going to go?
Okay, that's a very important question. So the direction is the way the play's going. So it's going to tell you which way the running back's going.
So we should like block opposite to the direction which we get.
Exactly, yeah. So it depends on where you are, but always if the play's going right, you're blocking from the right. Exactly. So yeah, the direction call is going to help you guys know which leverage to set. So I have a question for Hayden. What's the? Oh, I've got it right here. Never mind. That very much ruins my question. Anyway, I'm hoping you guys remember this. The call for it. So if you point to the heart, that's left. Anywhere else, it's right, and that's going to tell you which way the play is going. So let's say I point like this. So Hayden, which way do you want to block your guy? Let's say you're at the F.
To the left.
Exactly, yeah. Oh no, that's wrong one. My fault. So if the play is going to the left, if the running back's taking it to the left, we want to be blocking it away. So we want to make space for him. So you'd actually want to get your guy and block him that way. So you'd be blocking towards the right. If that makes sense. Does that make sense, Hin?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's say, Morgan, you're the X, and let's say we call a stalk. Who do you think you'd be blocking, and which way do you think you'd be blocking them?
The number one to the right.
Okay, so number one is perfectly right. Stalk, you're getting the first man from the outside. Good job. But because I pointed out here, that means the play is going to the right. So the H is getting the ball and he's going to the right. So we want to block him to the left because we're just trying to get in between. So that's the biggest thing to understand with this direction call. You got to understand which way the ball's going, and you're always blocking the opposite. So, for example, if I was the F and it was a stalk, but it's to the right, then I'd be having the 4, but I'm blocking him to the left. Ball's going right, I'm blocking him to the left. Okay, Ollie, question for you. If you had the Y, if you're the Y, and it's a push crack to the left, who would your man be? Yeah, Oliver.
So the run.
So what's that? I think you're lagging a little bit.
Not. Wait.
Okay, it's either my or your internet, but I can't quite hear you. So I'm going to have to go to someone else. Sorry about that. Oliver McKenzie. Did you hear that question?
Go on, just repeat it again.
Yeah. So you're the Y. Let's say
Yeah.
we've got. Who's your man?
Yeah.
And which way are you blocking?
Block the 3 to the right.
Exactly. Perfect. Does anyone have any issues at all with that? Sorry, Ollie, we didn't get to hear from you there. There was a bit of a lag. But if anyone has any issues with that, it's completely okay. It's a judgment-free zone, but it's really important to let
Yeah.
them know.
So your direction that you give is the way that the ball's going, not the way you're blocking.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because when they call the run play, they call it the same way. So I thought you tell us the way we're blocking, not the way the ball's going.
Right. So, do you think they've been calling it? What do you mean they call it the same way? What do you mean by that?
So when they call the run play,
Yeah.
if they're calling it to the left, so the ball's going to the left.
Yeah.
I thought when you call your direction, you're telling us what way to block, not what way the ball's going, but it's the other way around.
Yeah. We're installing this as a direction course, so it makes you aware of the way the ball's going. That's normally how it works in terms of football. But if there has been an issue with the calls in previous camps or something like that, do let me know because sometimes I'm not the one calling it. So if there's an issue there, please do let me know. But we do want to call it for the way of the play. Cool. All right, let's move on. The biggest thing with blocking 101, let's not get any flags. Blindsides and blocks in the back, they'll kill our drives. So 3 rules. I've hammered you guys with this well enough, and honestly, you've done a really good job. In terms of Camp 1, that was quite a few flags, but since then, we've very much improved on that. But I'll reiterate. So lead with the hands. Just make sure you hit him with the hands, because refs, even if it's kind of legal, if they see you leading with the shoulder and he's on the ground, they're probably going to call it. So don't leave it up to the ref's judgment. Lead with the hands. 10 and 2 rule. Does anyone know what the 10 and 2 rule is? Alfie.
Is it like where you should keep your hands? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
No, you're good. So 10 and 2 rule, I haven't really touched on that one that much, but it's basically just about the guy you're blocking. So for them, between
Yeah.
10 and 2,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a field of vision thing, and it's the same with the last one. If you can see that number, you're probably okay. You're in front of them. So
Wait.
that kind of
Sorry,
thing.
what was the 10 and 2 rule?
10 and 2 rule is if you're blocking a guy, make sure you're between 10 and 2 for them. So if you imagine there's like a clock
Oh,
ahead,
o'clock, right?
like 12 o'clock right in front of you. So you got your 10 there, you got your 2 there. So if you're not in that field of vision for them, then it might be called. And the same with seeing their number. If you can see their number, that means you're probably in that 10 and 2 range. Is there any issues with that at all? Let me know. Cool. Yeah, once again, any questions, ask, because here it's completely a judgment-free zone. We just want you to understand a bit better and make it as clear as possible, because I know there has been issues with that in previous camps. But if errors arise on game day, we will be a bit disappointed because we've given you plenty of time to get the playbook down. And if you guys aren't asking questions, there's only so much we can do, right? Okay. So if it's a pass or a screen, you don't need to think about your leverage or your assignment so much. Unless it's, as you mentioned before, the screen, yeah, you need to block that one guy, but it should always be the same thing. So you don't need to worry about us calling it one way or anything like that. But if it's a pass or screen, you just need to think about how you're going to run your route or how you're going to make that block. So ultimately, you need to get to your landmark in time. The way in which you do that separates you from the other receivers. So some of you I've seen in film, it's clear the way you're stemming your route or the way you're giving them a jab step or something like that. You can tell that you've thought about how you're going to run it. And that makes a big difference, and that's going to get you very open. And that's how you get to the next level. So that's really good. So keep it up. But I'm just trying to reiterate how important that pre-snap read is. And another thing that we haven't mentioned as much as we would like to, try to stack on verts. Does anyone, question for Alfie. Alfie, I didn't get to ask you that last question because Ollie interrupted you. All good. What does stacking on verts mean?
Is that like once you've beaten your man to stay back and like on your line? So if you did like an inside release and you beat your DB, you need to make sure you're back in line with where you've just like lined up, so you're not like drifted off to the left or the right by a few yards.
Exactly. Why? What's the benefit of that?
It keeps the spaces to play right, so that like safeties pick up on like the right people to leave other receivers open.
Yeah, absolutely. It also means that you have so much space on the sideline that you can make the ball easier for the QB to throw.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great answer.
Cheers.
So yeah, exactly what Alfie said. Let's say on the outside, you're taking that mandatory outside release. Once you pass your DB and he's trailing, instead of staying out here and giving your QB this 3 yards to make the throw, you're going to try and stack and get on top of him. One, it puts the DB in a way worse position, being behind as opposed to next to you. And then also, it's going to give your QB all this space on the sideline to get the ball in. So we should be trying to stack on verts where possible. Okay. I'm going to go over coverages very quickly. I know most of you guys will be very experienced on this, but I know some of you may not fully understand. So I'm just going to give a little recap. So, zone versus man. It just depends. It describes how the defenders are playing it, right? So here you can see it's a cover 3. You got 3 guys in the deep. But the easiest way to tell here is look for the deep defenders who's dropping deep. So at the end of the play, if you can see the corner followed deep, this corner follows deep, and then there's a safety who's up top, that looks like a cover 3, right? And then the other way to tell is watch the eyes of the corners. So if a corner backpedals, but he's staring you down while you're at the wide out, then he's probably playing man, right? But if he's backpedaling while he's watching the QB, what do we think he might be playing there, Oliver McKenzie?
Zone coverage.
Exactly. So he's probably backpedaling into that deep zone for sure. So just the basics of understanding that is going to help you a lot as a receiver. So yeah, is there any questions regarding coverages at all? Okay, we're gonna do a quick playbook recap. Run plays, they're essentially the exact same. You guys know that because you have the blocking calls. So it's just very important that direction, knowing that the direction is the way in which the ball is going. So you should be blocking the opposite way. So for example, let's say here we call, yeah, okay. Who should I ask? George, I've got a question for you. So let's say you're the Y and we're running the ball to the right here. Let's say, oh no, let's do it like it is. Izzy left, you're the Y. Yeah. What's your leverage on your block here?
So if we're going left, then I want to be outside of the DB.
Outside of the DB, yeah. So this is
Sorry, you want to be outside the DB, so then you can push them inside away from the running back.
exactly. And if this was Izzy right instead, what kind of block do you think you'd make? Which would change? Which would change? Either the assignment or the leverage?
The leverage. So I would, instead of trying to just hit them straight away, I try and get inside and push them away from the play again.
Exactly, perfect. So yeah, a lot of you guys on the backside blocks, it's going to be difficult because we essentially want you to sprint all the way over here and then get on this side and try and get them around. So it's ambitious, but do what you can. But think about the angle that would be best to do that. So if you need to get across the field fast, you might need to sprint out quite shallow to get around and then try and post up or just get in the way. At least block them upwards. If you can't block them to the left the way you want, at least block them upwards. But direction call is just so you're not blocking them into the way of the play. Sweet. So in terms of the quick game, fishes or hitches, arrow. I'm literally just going to flick through these so you guys can see them. But you should be quite familiar with these, hopefully. But once again, any questions at all, please do ask. Louis, was it your question about the train or was it the golf before?
Just before I was asking, it's kind of more general, but yeah, I used golf as an example.
Right. So you just meant like in terms of the blocks, like how you didn't get the call. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of these, we just want you to stick to how it's drawn up. If there's any adjustments we need to make, we'll let you know. But you'll see here that the Y, it's just kind of an area. So it depends who fills it, right? So it's like a most dangerous man kind of situation. But you'll see here, it's generally stalk blocking with push cracks on the spread and the deuce. But the key is protecting the guy who's catching the ball, essentially. So ultimately, if the Z forgets and hits the corner, it's not the end of the world. But the Y, he needs to protect the man catching the ball. So you should definitely know these. And then TNT, obviously you got the fakes.
Wait, Josh, I just got a question about train.
Yeah, go ahead.
Camp 3, I was playing Z and it was in trips, right?
Right.
And I went for the block on the corner,
Mm.
but the QB threw it to me. and obviously I wasn't there. I didn't do the thing that they didn't do the route that the X did, which is what I think it was Coach Huss told me to do afterwards, but that's not what it's on in the playbook. So I don't know if that's an error on my part or on the playbook.
So you know on my slide right now how the X is running the train screen. Is that not how it looks on your playbook? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it is. But I was playing Z.
Oh, you were playing Z.
Yeah, and I hit the corner,
Okay.
but the ball was still thrown to me. So I don't know if I needed to have run the X route as well.
So, yeah. In terms of a direction call for this, I think it makes the most sense because then we can alternate it. So if you get called train right, then you should assume that the train screen is now on the right. So for the Z, there we're in the train screen. I assume that was the call on the day. I'm aware there is a bit of confusion there because on the playbook, it's not direction, it's just train. But we've changed that to a direction. So apologies for the confusion. But for train, if you're on the play side, wide out, you've got the train call. You've got the screen, you're catching the ball. Does that make sense for you guys? Cool. And then obviously the heavy package, for those of you who might be the personnel for it, you would have repped it last camp. We are planning to do a little bit of that, so it's important to know every position for that. There's the wedge, which is a W call. And then sprint, which is like a cover the face kind of call. And yeah, that's about it. It's not much for you guys to learn, but make sure you know every position because ultimately that's going to make you so much more useful for us, and we're going to be able to put you on where you'll fit in as opposed to just one position. Okay. Yeah.
Wait. I don't think those are in the most recent playbook. So can I like screenshot it or something?
Yeah, definitely. Screenshot if you will, if you can, and I'll get it sent over if they're not available to you.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Can you go on to wedge, please?
Yep.
And then the sprint.
Coach,
Yep.
if we call trips right, golf right, the two that have sort of moved, the two that aren't running the slant, where should they block? Should they just block heads up, or should the F sort of move over to get the corner that was on the Z?
So the Z should get the corner here.
Yeah, but if we call, because we did do it last camp,
Yeah.
if we call trips right, golf right, where the Z is then running the slant,
Right.
where should the two receivers block? Just same as it says there.
If you have the Z, I would assume the Z is just the slant is just a backside option. So what you're saying that
Right, okay.
we called it at camp 3 and the trips receiver was running the slant. That was a mistake, I think, likely on the running back side. Yeah, I remember that actually. No, the idea of the slant is that it's backside. It's a pre
okay.
the quarterback. So they should never be. The slant should never be on the same side as the bubble route from the running back. So that's an issue from the running back.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Louis, are we all good in terms of the pictures? Did you get them?
Yeah, I got them.
Sweet.
I was still a question about the heavy package. So if I'm playing tight end, what receiver should I sub on for, or would they know to come off?
We'll sort that out. We'll make it more clear in terms of rotations, but we'll have that all down. We've got a depth chart with all the different formations, so that will be clearer on the day. All right. I'm loving the questions though. Any more, feel free to shoot them. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a little Kahoot which may work. So if you guys can join this, I'm just gonna do a very quick Kahoot, just see where you're at. And Yeah, I'll put it in the chat here. You guys can join. If you press that link, it should add you. Just to see where your playbook knowledge is at. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, yeah. So I'm expecting 7 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. All right, let's start it off then. It's my first time using it, so we'll see how it goes. Okay. You're the X. Spread train. Pick what you think is right.
I can't see like the question or the answers. I just got colours on my screen.
Oh, you've just got colours.
Same.
Oh, see.
Yeah, I don't have the
Yeah,
question.
I can't see the question or anything.
Just same.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's a sharing screen thing. Okay, let me try sharing the entire screen. Maybe that'll work. Okay, so that was the first one. I think it should work for the next one. So for that one, it said you're the X. Can you guys see it now? Someone let me know, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that one, it said you're the X. The play is spread train. Should you 1 block the corner, 2 block the safety, or 3 run the train screen? And the answer was run the train screen. So if you guys can see it, then it should work for the next one. So let's try it out. Okay, you're the Z. It's spread talons. Should you run a comeback, vert, or post?
My thing's frozen, but it's red.
Yeah, red is right. Okay, so 5 if you got that right. Good job, guys. Yeah, for talons, we're running the comebacks. Obviously, for eagle, it's a vert, so I see why some of you guys got that wrong. But try and get that down for Saturday. It's going to be important. Okay, next question. If there's any questions at all throughout this, just open your mic, let me know. I can't quite see, so I don't know if anyone's raising a hand or anything. I won't quite be able to see, but just open your mic, let me know if there's any questions. Okay, next question. You're the F. It's trips right arc. Should you run a red wheel, blue deep curl, or yellow a 10 and out? You got 6 seconds. Yeah, good job, guys. Yep, 10 now is right. Next question. Hayden's in the lead. Good job. You're the Z. Deuce right Ferrari. Should you run a skinny post, deep curl, or hitch? Yep. Most of you got that right. The hitch, there is no hitches or like short routes like that on these like sprint plays. Yeah, for those who got it wrong, it's just try and get it down for Saturday, same thing, but good job to the guys who got it right. Hayden in the lead. You're the X. Heavy wedge. Should you run a slant, block your corner, or run a vert? Okay, run a slant was right here. Because it's the wedge, backside, you're running a slant.
So is that on mist or wedge?
That's on wedge. It's
Is it? Don't they run the slant on mist?
I believe. Let me double check, but I believe the slant is on wedge on the backside. Let me check on this.
Oh yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, I got the wrong play. My bad.
Yeah. So on the wedge, X is running slant. On the sprint, you got the pass concept there, and you got the block. I think the easiest way to think about it is that wedge is essentially a run play. So the receiver is kind of doing the opposite. So for the heavy run play, you're a pass option if we can take it. So you're a pre-snap read for the quarterback. If they like it, we'll go. For the pass play, you just need to make the block because we've got a pass designed, right? So we don't need to have that pre-snap read, and we don't have to need you running that slant. Sweet. All right, let's do the next question. Hayden is cooking. There's 4 more questions here, maybe 5. So you're the Y. Trips right talons. Should you run remember it's trips here. Vert, comeback, or post? Yep, most of you got that right. All right, we're only getting 4. You're only getting 4 answers here, so please make sure you're engaging everyone. But yeah, good job for those that got it right. Just a couple more here. Good job, Hayden. You're the Z, deuce right arrow. There's 2 options here. What should you run? And this is for your benefit, obviously. I'm not judging you guys based on how well you do on this quiz. I just want to run it in so you make sure you're learning it better. I'm not keeping track of whoever got anything wrong. Good job, most of you got that right. Morgan's climbing. You're the X. Heavy sprint. Should you run a slant, block the corner, or run a 5 and out? So remember, sprint is the pass play. So we're going to do the opposite. Good job for most of you guys. Yeah, remember, sprint is a pass play, so you don't need to be that run pass option. You're just going to block the corner. All right, last 2 here. So you're the Y, spread fish. This is an easy one for you guys. What's the route here? I think there's 2 of you not quite answered. Just last one, so let's get all 7 answering on the last one. It's just a hitch. It's just a hitch for fish. It's all hitches. Let me see. For anyone who put comeback, do you mind telling me who you are? I'm not trying to shame you, but I just want to understand.
Yeah. What's the difference between a hitch and a comeback?
Yeah, so a hitch is the short route. It's about 5 yards, and you're turning inside towards the quarterback. It's the one that we've got on these fish, on this fish play. Yeah, right here. So you see how they're all inside, and they're 5 yards. A comeback, however, is this one. So don't worry about this release specifically. It makes it look a lot more complicated. It's just a deeper route, and it's turning outside. So this is about 15 yards here, and you're turning outside. So very different plays and a much deeper, longer route. Does that make sense? I think that was Oliver with the question.
Yeah, all good.
Awesome. All right, last one. Let's get 7 responses if possible here. Someone, you're the F, juice right, TNT. What's the move here on TNT? You guys should all get this right. fake a block and get vertical. Perfect. Good job, guys. Yeah, that's right. Cool. So I hope that's giving you a little bit of a refresh. That's all we really needed from you. I'm just going to show you a bit of Scotland to prepare you, but the biggest thing is literally just feeling better about the playbook. Just get the playbook down, and you're gonna be fine on Saturday. So I don't know if you guys you should have access to this, but I'm literally just gonna show you some of the plays of Team Scotland, and I want you to see if you can see what's going on. Can someone tell me if this is visible to you guys? I know it's quite blurry.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay, Alfie, if you're there, can you tell me what this looks like in terms of coverage? Or what you see at least.
Is it like? Do you mean like? Is it just like a man or a zone on the DBs, or do you mean like the actual coverage?
Just tell me what you see, like identify some deep defenders, that kind of thing.
Well, it's a bit blurry, but I think the DBs are in zone from what I can see. Yeah, they're in zone because they're just dropping back, and they kind of got their eyes on the QB. From what I can see.
Yeah. So would you say these outside corners, which zones would you say they're playing? This outside corner here.
Say again, sorry.
You see these outside corners, so there's one on the right, one on the left there. What zone do you think they're playing? Do you think it's shallow or do you think it's deep?
No, I think it's deep because they're dropping back quite far. So if it was shallow, they'd just pass it on to the safeties. Also, there's only one safety, so
exactly. Yeah.
I assume it's deep.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Good job. And Ollie Goldthorpe, what would you say about this guy here? What kind of coverage is he playing? This guy in the middle here.
Like cover 3.
Yeah. So what's his zone?
He's just got the whole of the backfield.
Exactly. So the middle of field here, would you say it's open or closed?
Open. Oh, the middle's closed.
Yeah.
I thought you was on about the whole bit. Yeah, the middle's closed.
Exactly. Perfect answer. Yeah. So they're playing a cover 3. This safety, I've never seen a safety line up so deep and drop even further. So they're very scared of getting beat deep. So does anyone have any ideas of what we might want to run against a look like this? This is very common for their plays, by the way.
Eagle.
Yeah. So who said arrows?
I said arrow. Louis.
Is that Louis? Yeah. So arrows, yeah, that's perfect. That's one of the plays that we definitely want to focus on. So in terms of a play call, we think runs will work really well because even the linebackers, they're so far off. They're at least almost 10 yards off there. So short passes and runs, we think will work really well. So things like arrow, things like fish, even hitches, that's going to be very effective. And then yeah, we're going to be running these out of all the formations: spread, juice, trips. So you just need to make sure you know all of them. And then we also want to see how they react to us rolling out with the sprint concepts. So yeah, that's the game plan. I thought it helps to tell you guys a little bit about it, so you're a bit in the know. But yeah, does anyone have any final questions? I'm fine to wrap it up very soon because I appreciate your time.
I just got one question, just for confirmation on train. It's only the backside wide receiver that does the route with the almost like not a comeback, but a step out and then catch to receiver. It's only the backside wide out, right?
So if we call the direction, I think it would be play side. Well, I'll get this clarified for you, but To me, the train screen is the combat. It's the tunnel. We call it tunnel in my playbook. So
So, okay, so if for example it calls trips right train,
Mhm.
the X would do that route, and then the Z would block the corner.
yeah, if they call it train, it's just how it's drawn up here. If we do call it train left and train right, then that's the play side, and then that's the side that's running this train screen.
Okay.
So if we do call it train right, then it would be the Z.
Yeah.
Train. If we call it train left, it would be the X running the train.
Okay.
But,
Cool.
yeah. Okay. Is that all sorted then? Awesome. All right. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. I hope you learned something. And it's just getting the playbook down before Saturday. Make sure we can get you on as much as you can. Thanks for coming. See you in a bit.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See ya.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.